Dynamisher base.
And welcome back to KSIO, the public radio station that just moved. We got a brand new tower.
Yeah.
It's big.
A whole new antenna.
It's the biggest antenna I've ever seen,
yes,
frankly.
The tallest.
And I mean, we've seen our fair share of antennas.
Oh yeah, up close and personal.
Yeah, it's it's just astounding the miles this thing must be able to be on the waves for. I don't know exactly how antennas work, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for a jazz
We're here to
show.
put things on the waves.
In the waves?
Upon. They are the waves.
Within the waves, I think. But so the idea mainly is that we're here to play jazz. You are listening to tonight's jazz. I'm Leonard, of course. With me here, my producer.
Leo.
Yes. Leo's here with us, as always.
Leonard.
Leo and Leonard.
Yes.
Playing the hits.
Tonight.
Of course, KSIO's regularly scheduled programming is a little bit delayed. They had to do a series of, live news where there were important things happening. So You've Been Spanked has been pushed for the week because we just didn't have enough time. We had to devote our time to the news. We don't actually have any news scheduled into the schedule here. So whenever anything important happens, we have to break into the scheduled programming. And sometimes that means people get bumped.
We're ready at all times, just in case.
Yeah, we always are just around because whenever everything gets bumped, then we come in and play a song or two. We actually don't even have any real airtime. It's just the medium roast has gotten bumped a little bit here. So instead, you've got tonight's jazz we have to play for a little bit.
Tonight
we're going to play one song, and I'm really excited about it.
Yes. What do you have for us tonight?
Well, you actually were really excited to bring this one to my attention. What was the name of this artist?
Let me I brought it somewhere. I think it's in one of these boxes.
I should note, since we just got the new tower,
they unpacked the tower first, but not the boxes. So I don't know what the deal is with that.
We are in a room that's literally in a basement full of boxes. It's like we're in storage right now.
I'm sitting on a box.
It's like we're in a box almost.
The desk is a box.
I mean, everything's a box to some extent.
I mean, yeah.
So we're really excited about this new one. It's the brand new record from the noted. He plays both the trumpet and the trombone. He layers them over each other.
Cecil Flanagan.
It's
Irish jazz.
Irish jazz from Cecil Flanagan.
Yes.
Cecil Flanagan is just the tops.
Oh man!
Of course I know Cecil. He's one of the best. Yeah. He's possibly the best.
But if I could just, I'm here. Can I? Do you mind if I? You want to stall a little bit? So I can
stall? No, let's just turn it on. Let's turn on some Cecil. What was the name of the track?
If I had a record, I would spin it. Tom.
What's his famous one? His new the new Cecil track. The one you were so excited about. You were telling me all about it.
It's in the box, Tom.
It's in the. You haven't unpacked the CD.
I'm digging through the box right now.
I'm
trying to find the
Leo.
Cecil.
Leo. Gosh.
Jazz.
Oh man, Leo.
Leonard.
We're on the air right now. This is our big shot. No, they're gonna know. They're gonna listen to this. Leo.
I was not ready today. They told me
I come in here.
I'm on the
You're
radio
digging
now.
through boxes. I thought you already got the CD, the Cecil.
I had boxes to unpack, but I didn't unpack them because they decided to
unpack
the antenna first.
Is it that one you're looking in right now?
I don't think I think it's the wrong box, Tom. That's all, Leo. Leonard.
What are we gonna do that then? They're listening to this live right now, Leo.
I'm flustered, Leonard. I'm flustered.
Oh my God. Leo's, he's Leo's not good with boxes, as you know from past shows.
I'm more of a sack guy.
More of a what?
A sack guy.
He can find anything in a sack in 30 seconds.
If I can carry it on my back, I'm good to go.
If we were in a room full of sacks, he would have already found it and won a sack race.
That wasn't it either. I heard some music. Oh, wait. Here we go. I found it. Yeah, never mind. It must have just been a long.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Did the antenna go down? I think we dropped the antenna.
Just fell, and we don't have.
Oh, my God. Did you hear that?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, jeez.
We
may as well just play the track.
Oh man. This is
Don't laugh at me. If you found the record, we wouldn't have to do this,
if
Leo.
if you knew of any other jazz, that you know.
And that was Cecil. What was his last name?
Flanagan.
Cecil Flanagan, Irish jazz. Wow. That was something.
That was, yeah.
And now it's time for the medium roast. So
Yes.
next time there's a schedule blip over at KSIO, you can hear tonight's jazz once again.
Oh,
Hopefully we'll have gone through the boxes by then, but
yes,
we'll see how that all goes.
we will. I still haven't plugged the whole thing. I'm sorry. That was
Yeah, and what was that trombone?
I couldn't do it.
We're on. We're live.
We're on?
Yeah.
I thought we were taking a little music break while the music went.
Yeah.
So I took the headphones off.
We're
I
jumping
sat
right
back.
in.
I was
Yeah,
like, oh
yeah.
man, I am not ready.
We are live.
How about that trombone? That little.
Yeah, you need to practice your trombone.
I don't have a
things.
mouth trombone.
Everyone has a mouth trombone,
Yeah.
Chris. do when the Saints are marching in.
I don't know that fucking song. I feel like you've done this a lot.
No, I haven't. What? When? Like, what's what? I don't. We just made the weirdest. Like one of the only contexts in which you need to do it, unless
I
you're
also-
Jack
I also
Black
could
starring in anything. I guess.
Yeah, he always finds a way to sing, no matter what he's in.
Well, I do want to bring your attention to something tonight.
Oh yes, what would that be?
That would be this news article that I came across. We should probably tease before we get going.
Okay.
We will be having a spoilerific debate, maybe conversation about the movie Hereditary.
Oh man.
That's the main feature tonight.
Yes, hereditary,
Hereditary.
territorial, hereditary.
So what I want to read for you tonight is it's an article from the World Herald.
Okay, the Omaha World Herald, or just like the world,
The World's Herald.
the Herald of the World.
Herald and the World.
Hi, I'm Harold World, and this is the Omaha World Herald Live.
So this one it's by Micah Mertz, who is the
He's
local
the music-
film critic.
Yeah, the movie guy.
Does he might do music too? I
No,
don't know.
I meant to say movie, but I accidentally said music.
okay.
That's all. No.
Well, so the article is called "Have you heard the one about a conservative SNL set in Omaha?"
I did. I saw a headline for it, but I didn't read it. But it sounds pretty bad, and I'm sad that it's a thing that we're known for now.
So I'm gonna read a little bit of the article, and we can talk about it as we see fit.
Okay.
So Mike LaChance, a blogger for the conservative news site townhall.com, has an idea for a show. He thinks that for conservatives to compete against liberals in the culture war, someone should start a red state alternative to Saturday Night Live. His hypothetical show, he writes, would be set in America's heartland.
So it's just a Fox News station in the middle of Omaha.
He said, well, basically it's SNL, but all conservative jokes. So he says, Omaha, Nebraska would be ideal, and give it a similar name and branding to SNL. Something along the lines of Live from Omaha. It's another Saturday night would work.
That's like literally what they say, though. I don't think you can just rip that line.
It's basically
Yeah.
like a spin-off opportunity is what he's
Yeah.
suggesting. And what's funny to me, so there's a couple notes in here that are basically the notes that I had as I read about it originally. He says, it should be mentioned that Douglas County actually leans blue, with more local votes going to Hillary Clinton than Donald Trump in the 2016 election. And it should also be mentioned that Omaha already has a locally produced live sketch show called Omaha Live, and it airs weekly following SNL.
We do?
Yeah,
I didn't
hosted
know
by Cameron Logston.
Cameron.
Do you know Cameron Logston?
No.
Have you ever encountered him?
No.
He's a funny guy. I've met him a couple times. And Omaha Live actually responded to this saying, if only there was a sketch show in Omaha called Live from Omaha.
Oh.
So I like that he's happened to, like, he's just picking it because it's the middle of the country. And so he's like, yeah,
Obviously, it's the red spot. You know,
it's
but
it's
not.
the blue spot in the big red.
Yeah, no, but I mean,
Yeah,
they thought it was going to be the conservative spot. But it's
Right.
like, not really.
yeah, essentially.
Yeah. It's
So,
like they don't even know who likes them. They're like, obviously the Omahans like us. They're in the middle. They're the heartland. Well, and we're like, actually, we voted for Hillary.
he claims, so he says, as opposed to SNL, which lambasted President Trump, and his administration in its most recent season. He envisions a conservative SNL that would make fun of liberal figures such as Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer.
Or like SNL when Obama was president, and every episode opened with a little skit making fun of Obama.
I think there are probably fewer, but that's because...
I don't know, man. I remember every episode opening that way.
I guess I don't actually watch SNL that much.
That's why, yeah.
I don't know. All I know is Live from Omaha. He proposes 5 guests for Live from Omaha. The first 5 would be James Woods, Ann Coulter, Greg Gutfeld, Sarah Palin, and Adam Baldwin.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Musical guests.
The other Baldwin brothers.
Kanye West, Trace Adkins, Sammy Hagar, Charlie Daniels, and Kid Rock.
Of course.
LaChance also pitched a few sketch ideas for the show. A sketch featuring Sarah Palin playing Tina Fey, upset about Hillary losing.
Her playing Sarah Palin. Wait, Sarah Palin playing Tina Fey playing Sarah Palin. With Ann Coulter being Amy Poehler being Ann Coulter.
Being Ann Perkins.
Ann Perkins. That's Rashida Jones.
Wait, what?
Rashida Jones is Ann Perkins.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I am.
Leslie Knope.
Leslie Knope.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Bernie Sanders hosts a radio show where he can't explain the historical failures of socialism to a single caller, which I'm going to say, I think they actually have made those jokes already.
Yeah.
They've already done Bernie Sanders.
SNL's made fun of liberal people all the time. It's just that liberals don't get all butthurt about it the way that all these Republicans are.
I've always thought it's a little weird that, you know, despite Fox News being the #1 most successful news source out there,
you can't call them that anymore now. Did you ever hear they had to register as an entertainment television thing instead of a news television because of all the shit they try to push?
Well, I mean, they basically
they're literally not considered a news channel anymore.
Basically, any cable news should be just labeled entertainment instead of news. But the fact that they actually do have the most successful one, and then they claim that they're not the mainstream media, has always been a little confusing to me.
Right? Yeah. Oh, the media. As you're on the news.
Yeah. Owned by Fox, which is huge. Anyway, okay. So other ones, mental health tips from Kathy Griffin and Jim Carrey. See, I also just couldn't work on a show like this.
Is that conservative or is that just like Jim Carrey?
Well, they're both liberal people who are kind of weird, I guess. So
yeah, that's okay. You're allowed to be weird.
Conservative Americans need and deserve a Saturday Night Live of their own, he says.
Do they?
Well,
I mean, like,
do you have to watch Saturday Night Live at all?
No. Yeah,
that's what I don't
Saturday
get.
Night Live isn't necessarily good to begin with, but it's just, you know.
No, it's pretty much actively bad, I think.
Yeah.
Like, also, I think it probably mattered more when we were like kids. People like Saturday Night Live a little bit more than they do now.
It's so edgy. You know, oh man.
See, now we're just like doing this rant about it, but I'm just like,
but yeah, no, it's frustrating.
Live from Omaha, apparently, is
like, why Omaha? Do you like Live from Alabama or like? I don't know. I don't want it here. I don't think anybody would want it here. Like, how are you going to convince someone to fly out to Omaha?
Is James Woods even going to come here?
Yeah.
James Woods. Sammy Hagar.
Yeah. Kid Rock. Live from Omaha.
Live from Omaha. Do they have to have a different, like a country hick guy doing like live from Omaha?
Live from Omaha. I don't know. That's the best I could do.
Yeah. Live from Omaha. Live from Omaha. I don't know. He's a weird cowboy, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying though.
The fact that we actually already have a sketch show that plays literally right after SNL, and it's not. Yeah. It's less political than SNL even, because it's just like goofy stuff. Basically, it's just Cameron Logston and his team of writers just goof around.
Which that's fine.
Which is cool. That's all. It's all it's supposed to be to begin with. So that was my news source my news story that I don't know. It seemed like that was fitting to start the show with for some reason. But
it's a good one.
But I feel like we didn't have any jokes, so it kind of bombed.
No, well, it's kind of, well, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be funny. We're not necessarily a comedy podcast. We just happen to be funny.
In
between the sorrow.
Between the sorrow with Chris Fago and Tom
Saul and whoever else the other guy wants.
Leo and Leonard.
Leo, Tom, Saul.
I'm really disappointed in your trumpet and your trombone.
I'm sorry. I was not improving well today, Tom. I was not. I don't know. I didn't have it today.
Yeah. Gotta have it every time we do the show.
I wasn't ready for this.
How are you gonna host Live from Omaha one day?
Well, first, You've Been Spanked is gonna take off. Well, and then eventually I will just buy them.
No. So James Wood and everybody goes up and they're like, all right, we're gonna make this show. And so then they invite you on,
and I'd be like, I don't know who James Wood is.
Well, you probably have seen him and stuff or heard him and stuff. But anyway, so they ask you to come on the like weirdly conservative, like it's actively kind of just like a political statement, which I don't think SNL or Live from Omaha should be, probably, because it should just be dumb. But so you're on the officially like really conservative one. They've invited you on. You're the host. You come out.
Host.
What do you want your monologue to be?
Oh man,
you're like, and your host Chris Fago. Then everyone's applauding. I don't have applause ready.
You don't have your sound effects ready?
No.
What is this?
Well, give me a second here. Give me just 1 second here. All right. So, and your host, Chris Fago. There's no sound. Hold on.
As it said,
and your host, Chris Fago.
Oh, it's looping. That was cool. I like that. That was cool.
How did I do that even?
I don't know. I like that.
I
don't know. I like that. What's happening? I don't know. I like
Oh, it's
oh, we're listening to ourselves coming through the thing. Okay.
YouTube started.
I was like, that's neat.
All right. So all right.
I mean, at first it was like a cool echo. Chris Fago.
Yeah. Okay. So
sorry. Okay.
So anyway, yeah. And your host, Chris Fago, everyone applauses, and then you walk out. Are you wearing a jacket? You wear a jacket on SNL?
I could.
Or on
I don't know.
LFO?
I'd probably just wear like a nice button down and some pants, you know.
What if they're like, Chris, James Woods takes you aside and is like,
I can't,
Chris, I'd really like you to wear a jacket.
I can't show any neck.
Oh, except
conservative shows.
Would they prefer actually? It'd either go that way, or it would go like you have to just come out in a tank top and like basketball shorts.
Dude, bro it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had to show up in a dirty white tank top.
Yeah.
And no, I don't know.
Because like this show is very like every single detail is designed to hit some political demographic, right?
Yes.
So you come out, your hair is a mess. Yep. You probably haven't shaved in a couple days.
No, that's normal.
Well, okay, sure.
Yeah.
So you come out, everyone's applauding. You got the stage. And what do you do?
I don't do anything, Tom. I wouldn't put myself in that situation.
No, you've agreed to do it. What's your monologue going to be?
I don't know. What am I supposed to tell the conservatives, Tom?
What are you
supposed to tell them? Hey guys, America's great.
No, you're supposed to come out with a joke. No. So come out with a joke for conservative America.
Okay. Hey guys, America's great.
Then you get booed and kicked off.
Yeah. Or they cheer because they're like, everything is great now.
Well, that would actually be the problem is you can't really make fun of your own.
It'd be difficult. I'd be like, so how about that white president? You know, and then everyone would be like, yeah, it'd be awful. I wouldn't like it.
You wouldn't like it?
No.
Well, okay. So we've determined
it's a sad, I don't even want to think about having to be on the show.
What if you just come out and did something goofy? You're like, all right, if you were doing stand-up, for example, it'd be the same kind of thing.
I've never done stand-up to begin with.
You come out. Why don't you just come out and do a trombone solo?
But I can't.
No, it's lower. Yeah, and people will be like, this is great. No politics in that. No, it's just a trombone.
I love this bipartisan comedy.
This bipartisan trombone impression is beautiful.
You have my vote.
I watched, speaking of impressions.
Oh, no.
Have you watched that Jim Carrey documentary?
No. I think Jim. I watched like the first 5 minutes, but that was like it.
Well, have you seen Man on the Moon? Do you know anything about Andy Kaufman?
No. I've heard he's a weirdo, but I would like, I don't know. I'd like to know more.
He was a weirdo.
Enlighten me.
Well, so he was a weirdo who would do basically like performance art. And so he would be really strange people and get in like fights where you weren't sure if it was all engineered and he actually went to the hospital with real injuries or if it was all just like a staged thing. He was on a sitcom. He did, some comedy venues and stuff. He's basically like a performer who took things pretty far.
Okay.
And Jim Carrey grew up idolizing him, thinking he's, this genius, which maybe he was. But Jim Carrey didn't seem to understand that this guy was aware when he was on camera and when he was not on camera. And so he thinks he's just like always this completely crazy person, always doing a performance. So this documentary comes out about Jim Carrey playing Andy Kaufman in Man on the Moon. And I think it was in the late 90s. So Jim Carrey at that point was like one of the top stars in the world. He gets asked to play this role. It's like his idol. And so he says, okay, I'm going to play it. Not only am I going to play it, I'm going to be Andy Kaufman.
Yeah, because it's all about him getting what was the word for it? That kind of acting. method acting with it. Yeah, he's like, I'm Andy now.
It is, but like, okay, for example, even Daniel Day-Lewis, you hear Paul Thomas Anderson talk about Daniel Day-Lewis, who acts basically like that character, but he's still aware that they're making a movie.
Yeah,
like,
he gets that it's not reality.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Jim Carrey takes this as this excuse, basically just be the most obnoxious person in the world. It's basically, that movie must have been months of, you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
And Jared Leto's watching going, I should do that for the Joker. And then
well, so the movie is framed around the on-set footage has finally been released.
Okay.
And there's this interview that I think it was Vice who did it, but it wasn't released through Vice. It was released through Netflix. So I don't know exactly how the distribution worked out. But
okay.
So they're talking to Jim Carrey, who's sitting there with his great big bushy beard and his leather jacket. And they're like, so tell us about what happened. And so it's framed around Jim.
I think I have seen this little bit, like the beginning little.
Well, that's the whole movie.
It's just okay.
Cutting between that conversation with Jim Carrey and the old footage.
Okay.
So he's talking about basically how he had this identity crisis as a result of doing this, because he had to break down. He's like, I was Andy, and like everybody's just a construct of this character that you choose to be and make and all this stuff. And it's like, they're not the most impressive thoughts in the world, but it's like not the worst philosophical musings. But then so they're cutting between Jim Carrey trying to be profound about the notion of identity with Jim Carrey just like hitting this wrestler on the back of his head all the time and like turning the music up as loud as possible. Yeah, just being so obnoxious. I'm just like, you couldn't pay me enough to direct Jim Carrey in that movie. No. It is like,
did you see his little interview type thing when he was on like the red carpet and he's just being all ridiculous? Like he's like walking in circles around like the person with the microphone, just like speaking gibberish and like.
No, was this recent?
It was pretty recent. Yeah, it was some like recent like red carpet thing, and like they're like, oh my god, it's Jim Carrey, let's go talk to him. And they go try to talk to him, and he's just like, he's like actively like walking away from the microphone, like all over the place, just talking about how like nothing's real and all this other crap, and it's like.
At least that wasn't 90 minutes.
No, it was just a short little thing. And you can tell like the interview, like the lady holding the microphone, she just has like her eyes wide and like she's just like trying to chase him around with the microphone. It's just like really awkward.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously a little crazy at this point. Yeah. But what irritates me so much is that his whole identity crisis manifests just through him being obnoxious, not through him doing anything particularly interesting.
And he made a lot of money from it.
Yeah. Well, so they make this big deal about I think he had like said, if in 5 years, this is when he was sort of starting his acting career, starting to get some gigs. He's like, if in 5 years, I'm going to make $10 million. And he gets to some point, I don't know if it was The Mask or which movie specifically it was, but something around there. They give him a check for $10 million.
Mm-hmm.
Then they make this big deal about how his dad wasn't able to chase his dreams and had this rough life and everything. And so he buried the $10 million check with his dad. And so that is like, it's kind of a powerful idea.
Someone's going to go dig up his dad. Cash that check, man.
But there's a limited amount of empathy or sadness or like, there's only so bad I can feel about somebody who buried a $10 million check to make a point.
Because you have to be like comfortable enough to bury $10 million.
Yeah, like you're doing fine. Well, it's also hilarious because so Jim Carrey thinks he's the best actor in the whole world now because he's one of the top grossing people because he's made like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber, which he's funny in all. Well, maybe not The Mask, but he's funny in at least two of those.
Yeah, The Mask is just a bizarre movie.
It's a dumb movie.
That's a comic book movie. Did you know that? It's based on a comic book. Isn't that strange? He's a superhero.
I don't even remember. I mean, I saw that so long ago.
Yeah, I know, right? And it's just weird.
Well, but
even the more like you try to remember about it, just the weirder it gets.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, anyway, so he goes through all that and he's like, all right, I am, this great God who can be whoever. I can lose myself in this role and just be so obnoxious forever.
So obnoxious.
Oh my God. As someone who's had some set experience, I don't think I could handle it. I got so irritated watching him. And you can tell even some of the funniest parts are.
Yeah. What if like Leah was like, I'm the director. I have to direct. I'm the director, and she like.
It'd be kind of like that, except the fact that Leah's character is already not as goofy. Like it'd be like the worst part of any character. I don't think I've ever had a character nearly as obnoxious as it'd be like if Will Wright chose to be Harvey Armstrong all day, like for months.
Method act that one.
And you're like, kind of funny. Oh my goodness, Will, it's just well, and it's like even so, Andy Kaufman had cancer, and so the movie depicts at the end of his life him getting diagnosed. So Jim Carrey gathers a bunch of people on set and tells them he has cancer because he's being method. And so at that point, you see Danny DeVito be like, "I want no part of this. This is in such bad taste. I don't know why. Really this is So it's just like Jim Carrey being the most privileged person in the entire world, thinking like, this is me being an artist, going like making points about identity and the nature of humanity as I'm just annoying and insensitive. And he's like talking to Andy Kaufman's real life daughter. And he's like, Andy really came through.
And she's like,
Like,
no,
oh my goodness,
you're not my dad.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
There's one point where the director Milos Forman calls him and he says, like I don't know what to do with this. Like I don't know what's going on. And so he's like, can I just talk to Jim? And so Jim Carrey says something like, well, we can fire. Andy Kaufman had one alternate identity person named Tony Clifton. So he's like, well, we can fire Andy and Tony, and I can just do an impression. I'm pretty good at those. Or we can keep them on set with us. And the director's like, all right, fine, we can keep them. But at that point, I'd be like, yeah, you're just doing an impression. Like, you're not Andy Kaufman or Tony Clifton.
Neither of them.
And I couldn't handle it. I've never been more annoyed, I don't think, watching a movie.
Which is sad because he is a good actor.
Yes.
Like,
especially,
and it's just,
like Eternal Sunshine, The Spotless Mind. He's fantastic in it. And he's good at being goofy and things. I don't know if I've liked stuff he's done in a while, but
he hasn't really done much in a while, though, has he?
Apparently he's literally just
like
been nobody.
Too, and then,
I never saw that. But yeah, and then so my takeaway from this was we need to make a movie where Will Forget is this actor.
And he just gets too into it.
It's in like the really, really dumb movie and a really dumb part. And so we're interviewing him years later in his leather jacket with his big beard, talking about how he had this identity crisis.
And a scarf.
And it's,
he has to have a scarf. He always has a scarf.
Yeah, he's basically like his character from The Living Draft.
Yeah.
But who had acted in some really stupid
He was
movie.
method acting as the monkey with a typewriter.
He
spent
like
years in a closet with a typewriter pounding stuff out until a movie came out.
And so
then eventually it happens.
We can go back and we can show all the stupid things that happened while intercutting Will just being like, identity is just a constructed notion to get through the day.
Who you are by you.
Did you ever watch True Detective?
No, I think I watched like the first episode of the first season. It's one of the things I started, but I didn't really stick around on because I think I got distracted by other things.
But you saw at least Matthew McConaughey doing that kind of just like slow, rambly, kind of philosophical motions. Time is a flat circle.
Yeah.
My favorite one of those was Woody. Well, the best part about it was just Woody Harrelson turning and frowning at him half the time. But there's one where he says something about like, "Did you sleep last night?" "I don't sleep. I just dream."
Oh, jeez.
Woody Harrelson just turns and frowns.
The Woody Harrelson thing where he's like, there's two kinds of people in the world. And he goes off for like 10 minutes. And then he's like, what kind of person are you? He's like, the guy with the big dick.
Yeah.
It was a strange show.
That first season, I think, is the masterpiece. I think it's fantastic. But
I heard they're making a third season. And according to all the claims, it's going to be like the first season, which seems to be like the new thing is like you make a season of a show. You make a second season, it's like, all right. And then you go back, you make your third season. You're like, it'll be back the first season all over again.
Well, the reason why they're doing that, though, is because season 2 was horrible.
I know. But that's like the new thing is you just claim, oh, it's going to be like the first season. It's going to be like the first season. Oh, man. Remember when we were good? We're going to do that again. And then
But they have a better excuse for it this time than they generally do, which is that season 1 was really good and season 2 was really awful. Yeah. But
Arrested Development did it.
Yeah,
not like season 2 exactly was bad, but you know what I mean. Like they like it gets bad and like, oh, it'll be like the old stuff again. Remember when we were good? We can do that still. Don't you remember how great we used to be?
Well, in this case, it's their only chance because you may as well not even do that show anymore. I think with that one, it's actually the problem is they had a really good director on season 1 who directed the whole season, and then he didn't come back for season 2, and they handled season 2 like a normal show where a bunch of different directors come in. And it just didn't have the same. I mean, the scripts were bad, but also that really strong directorial vision that probably elevated the material from season 1 was missing.
Yeah.
So this season, they actually brought in the director of Green Room. He was supposed to direct, I think, 3 or 4 of them. And then he did not get along with Nick Pizzolatto, the guy who writes the show, which sounds like the first guy didn't even, but then he stuck out the whole season and then didn't come back for season 2 because of that. So this time, this guy quits after directing, I think, 2 of them, but he was supposed to direct more than that.
Wow. And
so then they had to hire another director, and then Nick Pizzolatto himself is going to write or direct the rest of the season 2.
Has he done much directing or is that
zero?
Oh, okay, cool.
None.
I mean, there's never a better time to start, I guess. Just go for it.
He's got nothing to lose at this point, I guess, because most people, I will watch 1 or 2 probably the new season just to see. But where I was going with that was old Matthew McConaughey rambling about life and the universe in the framing device for True Detective, as then they flash back to him being young. Reminded me a lot of watching Jim Carrey talk about being stupid as Andy Kaufman in being in Man on the Moon. But at the end, can I spoil the very end of the documentary for you?
Oh, sure. Can you even spoil a documentary? It's reality.
Yeah,
Kind of, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, what
So
happens
at the very end, he's talking. He's
he
like,
rips off his mask and he's Andy Kaufman. He rips off his Jim Carrey mask.
Nobody's talking about how he's like, I don't know who I am anymore. It's all just this made up thing. And then he's like, you know what else? I don't know. I don't know what to do next. Maybe I'll just beat Jesus. Then he gets up and he just walks off. And like, please just do that.
That means he's gonna go like have someone kill him and then try to come back.
He's gonna learn Aramaic, walk around in robes.
He's gonna grow a bigger beard or whatever.
He's already way too old to be Jesus though.
Yeah. Jesus died much younger than he did.
Yeah. So
he's like, I gotta go visit the Native Americans and start the Mormon thing.
All right, we're gonna be right back. This is Bach Mai doing the end credit song for Green on Green. Stay tuned.
End credit song.
She'll find a way. She'll go around this world. And when she comes back, she won't be the same old girl. And with this old town in the rearview mirror, there ain't nothing out there that will stop her. Embrace the day, there ain't time worth wasting. Pick up those feet, she's got dreams worth chasing. And there's so much more earth for her to see. And if there's anything it needs is a little more greed. Well, she's not perfect, she ain't even close, but she sure is one of us with fresh eyes and pros. Embrace the day, there ain't time worth wasting. Pick up those feet, she's got dreams worth chasing. She'll find a way, she'll go around this world. And when she comes back, she won't be the same old girl. Whoa. And there's so much more earth for her to see. And if there's anything it needs is a little more green.
That is Bach Mai doing A Little More Green, the end credit song from Green on Green.
And we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Live on KSIO.
Live on KSIO. Yeah, it's like
It's jazz tonight. Tonight's jazz.
we don't have a working clock here at the station.
No.
Otherwise, it might be time to say the name of the station
The
to do
time.
the news. But
It's
the
right.
time.
It's right now.
It
It's
is
radio.
right
It's
now
live.
on
And so
KSIO.
whatever time it is in your zone, it's that time.
Okay, so it's time right now.
Yeah.
All right. You had something you just thought of, so let's get into that.
I did. So I was browsing, online and whatnot, and apparently David Lynch now has an Amazon store where he sells T-shirts
Actually, I did
with
see a
all of
headline
his
about
with
this,
all
yeah.
of his crappy animal drawings on them, and it's hilarious. Like it's totally worth a look. Like if you go on Amazon, it's like Studio David Lynch. Like there's just like a picture of like just a hand drawn whale. and it just says whale, and that's like all it is. And it's just like, okay, it looks like the kind of whale that like some third grader would draw. And they're like not great shirts.
I'm looking at it right now.
Are you looking at the whale one?
I don't see the whale one.
Oh man, there's like dinosaur and it's a picture of a dinosaur.
I see dinosaur.
There's squid. Whale's hilarious. I don't know why, but like they're just awkward shirts. Like it has like a
redfish.
It has like a tan square.
Oh, I see. Whale's
like,
not completely terrible. I mean, it's just like minimalist.
Small dog barking.
I think
it looks like an alligator.
This one that's the word freedom with a no. It's like the circle with the line through it. No freedom. That one might be the most pretentious thing I've ever seen from David Lynch ever.
It's so strange. Like out of all the things that David Lynch could do next, he's like, I'm gonna put some t-shirts on Amazon.
Well, what's funny is these don't seem to be designs for t-shirts. These seem to be just like canvases that he's created.
Yeah, and
that then he puts on a t-shirt.
They literally scanned it and put it on a t-shirt. Like it even has like the square canvas like on it.
Right. That's what surprises me. I would think he would actually make them in a way that is a t-shirt, not literally just a scan of a canvas.
Well, like all you would have to do is not have that square there.
Yes.
Like if there's a square background, all these pictures, it just looks awkward.
Right. Like just take the whale, don't have the white square around it, and just put it on a shirt.
It was a bizarre thing. So I spent way too long flipping through all of David Lynch's t-shirts because there's a lot of them. There's probably like 100 or so on here. Nah, maybe more like 40.
It's probably everything he's drawn.
But still, yeah, I know. What a strange man.
He is the strangest of strange men, I think.
Right?
Well, so I have something weird that happened too.
Speaking of weird.
So for some reason, I got put on some publisher like email list.
Clearinghouse? No, I'm just kidding.
No, but I get anytime there's like a new book coming out from a few publishers, they send me this email saying like, oh, hey, check this out. Yeah. And then I get this that gets sent in the mail to me today. AIQ, how people and machines are smarter together. So it's about AI IQ. Yeah. Yeah.
I heard you. It's like, hey, Tom, here's a hint. Build me.
Yeah.
It's like,
so not only did we talk about Watson taking us over or Rocco's Basilisk last week.
Basilisk is dropping some hints, man. He's like, hey.
St. Martin's Press sent me an advanced reader copy of a book about the IQ of AI.
It is reality.
And they asked me to do a review of it. And I'm like, what do I know about IQ and AI?
If you didn't listen to last week's show, we talked about this thought experiment that's apparently terrifying about this AI that is supposedly malevolent, and that if you don't help it, that's why I said malevolent.
I thought you said malevolent. I might have misheard you. Okay.
Malevolent. No, malevolent. Oh, now I can't do it. Now I'm putting both together. Malevolent. That could be. We should make that a sound effect. Just you trumpeting a sad trumpet noise with your mouth doing it. See, that's good. You can mouth trumpet better than I can.
I'm a genius.
Said malevolent AI, if you don't help create it, it'll punish you for eternity or whatever. And now it's dropping hints to Tom, giving him books on how to create AI and whatnot.
It's dropping hundreds of pages at me.
Hundreds of them. It wrote a book before Tom could make it to make him make it or something.
Yeah, so this one says, from two leading data scientists, what everyone needs to know to understand how intelligent machines are changing the world and how we can use this knowledge to make better decisions in our own lives.
Make a decision that won't get you tormented for the rest of reality.
I will say it's a little creepy.
It is
that happens.
I wonder if someone maybe someone heard the show and thought it'd be
from St. Martin Press.
Just somebody, yeah, sure.
No, I mean it was sent from the publisher.
Oh, that's so strange.
There was a note from
the book. Have you started reading it at all?
No, I just got it today. I got to read it 2 hours ago. Well, I'm supposed to write a review.
You actually want to do it? Okay. I thought you were just going to look at this funny book I got.
I like the idea that they'll send me things and I review them.
Yeah.
But the problem is I just have absolutely no qualifications whatsoever to review an AI book.
And I can just write notes for you and you can figure it out.
That might be actually kind of funny. You write the notes and then I just try to pretend like I read it.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll keep that as an option for the fake start of the show next week.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm just like, what? Why? Like, even if you like me as a reviewer, why would you send me this?
Yes, something that is just not your thing at all.
I'm in no position to say whether the science in this has any validity whatsoever.
No. Or even if it's science, you wouldn't know. You'd probably just believe it. What if it's a fiction book? It doesn't look like fiction to me. It looks like a novel. No, there's two. That page was half empty. That's not a. Yeah, look at that. Let me see this shit.
Yeah.
AIQ.
Chris Fago.
Praise. There's literally a section on here that just says praise, and then it's all.
Well, it's not
all people talking about how good the book is.
They're still finishing the cover art and everything too.
Oh, that's the back cover, Tom. So
that includes cover art includes the back.
So it's like they literally just left like a placeholder in there that says praise.
Yes.
Uncorrected proof ISBN.
Yeah, it says I'm not even supposed to quote anything from it without contacting the publisher
yeah,
because
okay, I do see this now. Wow,
they might change some of it.
That is neat.
It's neat. It's just
kinda
random.
cool.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm like, I should review it so they'll send me good stuff that I want to read.
Oh, the co-author of Freakonomics says something on the front of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried watching the Freakonomics like documentary at one point. It's just kind of boring. It's like, man, people buying houses, and if you pay a lot for the house,
They're freaks.
your realtor makes money. And it's like, whoa, really?
One of us.
Yeah. Ooh. Form new prior beliefs based on extrapolated motion. I don't know what that means. I don't know what any of that
And
means.
you want to be the one to review this one.
I can figure it out. How can Bayes' rule make you smarter? Let's find out, Tom.
Michael Bay's rule.
Or how about this sound? Listen how exciting this sounds. You're gonna love this.
I'm
this
excited
heading.
already. Yeah.
1980 to 2010. The growth of statistical natural language processing.
Actually, I could deal with that. That doesn't sound bad to
Ooh,
me.
for translating English to Russian. I can't quote this actually. I shouldn't be doing it.
That's true. You better talk to St. Martin's Press.
Yeah. I'm not. No, I'm not you though. So it should
Oh,
be
that's
okay.
true. Yeah.
For
They sent-
translating English to Russian, you pair an English word with a sentence. That's it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I might have guessed that.
Yeah, right. To translate, you translate.
To translate, you take one word in one language and you translate it into the other word.
Okay, so here's a table, and there's one row, and then 6 columns. Guess what's in the one row?
There's a
Give me a
table.
guess.
There's one row and,
And
6
6
columns.
columns.
I don't know. IQ?
No, Scrooge.
No,
Okay.
that probably wasn't. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Column 1. Make a guess.
McDuck.
Animal.
Why?
Column 2. Guess.
Tiny Tim.
Agreeable.
I don't get
Column
it.
3.
I don't know. I'm lost.
It gets even better.
I'm not going to guess it.
Column 3. Third column.
Fish.
3 words. No. Grunts or growls. Column 4.
Just list them all.
Talks. Column 5. Lives in London. Column 6, I think, is where it all comes together. This is where it starts to make sense. Column 6 is a bear. It's
What? I don't know any of that.
Tiny Tim's actually over here. Okay, never mind. He's over in a different table though. And on this one, we got Scrooge, Raphael, Nadal, Tiny Tim, Paddington Bear, Trafalgar Square, and Christmas Tree.
I don't know. I mean, maybe an AI would be able to put that together.
Yes.
I am no AI.
This is such a strange book. Oh, it sounds kind of fun though. This part.
Okay.
How an algorithm plays 20 questions. That would be fun to learn.
Well, you
Like,
can have it
in a weird way.
after I read my
That's
review,
kind of interesting.
where I'm like, the words were good in this book.
Scrooge, agreeable,
I don't-
is a bear.
I don't understand it, but I also have no background in any of this.
I like the words. It just says on the front of like the final copy with Tom Noblock.
I guess my review is basically, yeah, build the basilisk, guys.
Just do it.
Those of you who can need
Just
to get
build
into
the
it.
damn
Just
thing.
build it.
See, I told you it was good.
I warned you about the basilisk.
That's strange.
Yeah, it's a little creepy.
Mhm.
Honestly, I'm a little creeped out by the whole thing.
There's some rogue AI over at St. Peter's Publishing or whatever.
Okay, let's get to the main event here.
The main event. Main event.
Hereditary.
That's all I can do. That's my noise. That's all.
Yeah, that was good. You should have just gone with it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Hereditary.
Hereditary.
Being called the scariest movie since The Exorcist.
What? That's what they all say. Probably just the scariest movie since It Follows. Honestly, I mean, that's probably the only like reasonably scary movie since It Follows.
Well, see, the thing about this movie is, I think it is haunting in a way, but not necessarily because of the scary stuff. It's
No.
just so distressing and upsetting.
Like the car crash
Yeah.
part, that was intense. I was like, oh, but I wasn't like scared.
Well, okay, hold on. Before we get into it,
Okay.
spoilers for Hereditary. If you're
So
planning to see
many
this movie,
spoilers.
this is going to be just complete spoilers, probably
Yeah.
for the rest of the show.
We're just gonna go for it.
So if you plan to see the movie and you don't want to know everything that happens,
We should try to run through kind of the whole thing because I'm still kind of hazy on
Yeah,
like
okay.
how everything kind of ties together. Even like it's just kind of like
I'm not sure everything does. I think a lot
Okay.
of it was like they came up with a bunch of eerie details and threw them all
Yeah.
into it, and then some of it matters and some of it doesn't.
Well, as soon as the mom was like, I've been having problems like with sleepwalking, and then there's all those scenes. I was like, I can't believe anything that I've seen now.
That's when it was at its
And that
most
was-
interesting with
yes.
the paranormal stuff.
Yes, and now I
Uh,
was like, well, crap. Now any of this could have been real or not real.
Except the ending, I think, takes away what was fun and ambiguous about it. And
But
then
I feel like the ending made no sense to me. So I think maybe I just missed something.
I
or
think the
what?
ending was just really dumb. And you want to think that it wasn't as dumb as it was. So you're like, maybe it wasn't exactly what it seems like.
But I don't know if I even knew what I thought that it seemed like.
Okay. Let's go through. Okay. So spoilers are starting now. So get out of here. 0 live listeners.
People who might have actually seen this movie. So random little detail.
Yeah.
I heard it was like A24's biggest opening, but it was also only like 17 million. Which is kind of
like
surprising.
13 million. Well, they're like,
I even give them way too much credit.
They're an art house distributor. So,
still, that seems kind of low because it seems like a lot of their stuff gets a lot of big publicity and it's all like, maybe it's just because I'm in the loop. So I get all the Facebook, the Facebook ads is all it is. But
they've had movies make a lot more than that, but they usually have soft openings and they kind of like word of mouth gets it. Because like, I think The Witch had a terrible opening, but then it stuck around and made a lot.
Well, and that was another one of the ones where you saw like publicity and like ads for that everywhere.
Yes.
That was a big deal.
Well, they've pretty much cornered the market on like every year, the new scariest movie ever.
Yeah.
And they've had a decent run with it. I mean, they haven't been terrible.
I saw someone's like Facebook comment was like, they need to stop marketing their movies as horror movies when they're really more of just like creepy dramas. And like, that's pretty accurate, I'd say. Especially like The Witch. Like it's not really a horror movie. It's
The Witch is a folktale.
Yeah, but I know, but it's more like, like creepy drama than it would be like a horror movie necessarily.
The Witch was definitely unsettling, not particularly scary.
Yeah.
It Follows was eerie, maybe not.
I liked It Follows. That was probably one of the best horror movies I've seen in a very long time.
And Hereditary is probably more successful than either of those in terms of like really bothering me, but I don't think it's a better movie overall. But okay, so anyway. So plot. We got a family, a mom, a dad, a brother, and a sister, like a son and a daughter.
Unrelated family.
The grandma used to live with the family.
Grandma dies
She dies at the very beginning. And then, so we learn at the funeral that the daughter, who is kind of all the marketing suggests she's going to be like the Damien of the thing, the evil, weird kid. We learn that she has a weird, she has a weird relationship with the grandma. She was like the grandma always took her, would feed her.
Yeah. Were they implying that she was like breastfeeding her? Because that was the implication I got. Because I feel like there was another scene where there was like an older lady like breastfeeding or something. I don't remember. I vaguely remember.
I think one of the little miniature doll things might have been that.
And I think that might have been another thing too.
Which was weird.
Yeah. Right. So just making sure I like
it seemed like an implication.
Okay.
If nothing else.
Yeah.
But so you learn that the grandma had this weird fixation on the daughter. And also that the daughter is allergic to peanuts.
Yes, I was like,
two really important details.
As soon as that came up, I was like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, because it's awkward in the scene.
It is very awkward. I'm like, that's called foreshadowing.
Yeah,
and you could see like the director going, "That's foreshadowing."
That would be the point at the Alamo quote-a-thon. There'd be some weird like foreshadowing alarm.
Yeah. Wave your peanut butter spoon around.
Yeah. So then the family's not actually that upset about it for the most part. They're kind of like, yeah, grandma was weird.
Yeah.
But then things get really intense. Basically, not a whole lot happens other than the kids seem to be seeing the grandma as like an apparition or just their
there's that
grief
one
or
part
something.
where the daughter's outside and she sees grandma.
And then didn't she see her outside of the school or something at one point too, like by the fence or something?
I think, like right after the bird hit the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So weird stuff's kind of happening. You're not really sure what's going on. Seems like the daughter's going to become like the weird, creepy person in the movie.
Yeah.
But then the son takes the daughter to a party, like a teenage party.
Mom makes the daughter go with because he lies and says it's going to be like a school function.
And then he's just doing drugs. And then there's the most dramatic shot of cutting walnuts in cinema history.
Yeah, all the cutting. Like there's the part where she randomly cuts the head off a bird.
Yeah.
And it's just
and so automatically you're like, who cuts she's gonna eat some nuts and go into shock or something here.
I didn't even catch that was where the nuts showed up. I just saw her eating the cake and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, well,
I did love how
starts with the shot of the walnuts. And I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
She's gonna eat those walnuts somehow.
Don't let her lick the nuts.
Or maybe it was just the same knife or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they could have been that simple.
Yeah,
because I doubt they just like sprinkled on the cake or anything,
But the fact that we got the knife,
yeah,
I mean,
that's totally it. Yeah, good call. I just figured they were nuts in the cake. I mean, it was a peanut butter cake. She just didn't notice. But yeah,
which was dumb. She should have asked. But anyway,
well, she was nervous. She didn't want to ask for cake.
So she's, having an extreme allergic reaction, basically like dying in the backseat of the car as the brother drives down this country road to try to get her to the hospital to save her. She can't breathe to the extent that she's actually like rolled down the window and sticking almost half her body out there to try to get air.
Force some air down her throat.
And then, of course, the brother swerves out of the way because there's an animal carcass in the road, and then gets a little too close to a telephone pole, and the daughter's head literally comes off as she hits it. I didn't know in the scene that her head actually came off.
I didn't either.
I thought her head
like,
or her neck just broke.
The neck or something, yeah.
But yeah, by far the most effective part of that movie is the next like 3 scenes. Where,
I love just that like few seconds where he's sitting in the car and it's just like pause for a second, and then he kind of just slowly.
That's like a minute.
Crawls forward. It was a long time.
The fact that he knows he should look in the rearview mirror, but he can't bring himself to, and he just he can't face the reality. He just basically ruined his life.
Yeah,
and then
everything turns out pretty okay for him after that.
Well, but I mean, at that point in the movie, though, it's so successfully captures that feeling of dread and regret and just helplessness.
Mm-hmm.
And then that leads to his own paralysis, which I thought was really well handled too, where he just drives the car back, gets in bed, obviously he can't go to sleep, but he just waits for the inevitable.
Yeah.
And then that scene where you don't see any of it, but you hear the mom go outside and just see the body of the kid.
Yeah.
And just scream. And then we cut to the funeral where she's still screaming and just.
I love how they didn't bother with him like explaining anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then you're kind of left to wonder, like, did he actually tell them? You know,
it seems like he didn't, because when she's screaming at him later, she kind of says, "If you'd actually just like fessed up to this, maybe we could move forward as a family."
Yeah. But I think maybe she just knew he was keeping certain details from him, because it's pretty clear what happened. Like, you know what I mean? He probably just didn't want to say it was like, I was at a party smoking weed or something like that. But yeah,
at that point in the movie, though, I'm just like, I don't even know if I want to watch this. I'm so distressed watching
got my
this.
hopes up too. I was like, wow, this is going really, really well. And then it kind of was just like a slow downhill from there. And I'm like,
I mean, I go from just like really being so gripped by how well it captures dread and anxiety that then when it gets to like, the mom meets somebody in grief counseling who says, we can do a seance and you can contact your daughter. Then it just gets a little goofy at that point. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to be easy to watch. I was
like, oh yeah, it's just a regular horror movie.
Right. Yeah. Then I thought it handled a lot of it well. A lot of it was really well directed, but the plot itself just got sillier and sillier as it went.
Yeah. I feel like there's like a blank spot in my memory too, like from that hour, like after the daughter dies. And I'm trying to remember like how the miniatures really tie into much of it all, but they don't really.
I think the miniatures are just supposed to show that they are helpless pawns in this overall. It's just a metaphor more than anything.
I kind of got like the mom's also really controlling, and that's why she kind of does it too, is because that's how she gets her fingers in everything.
She's controlling
she makes all the little miniatures,
but ultimately as helpless as a miniature.
Yes.
You can have that one A24.
But then wasn't like the whole ending scene like another one of the miniature things too? I loved how a lot of like the random like establishing shots were totally miniature houses too.
Yes, that was cool.
I like that.
That was the opposite of the Arrested Development way of doing it.
But that makes me think that a lot of it was set up though by the mom or something, And where did the mom go?
When?
After dad, another spoiler alert. So there's that one.
She was on the ceiling.
That was the daughter.
No. I don't think so.
I thought that was the daughter.
I guess she's out of focus.
I think the daughter. But doesn't the daughter run after him too?
I don't think it's entirely clear who all is running after him. So maybe I misinterpreted some of that.
I thought it was the daughter who was running. I'm trying to remember, but yeah, like okay. So I remember, so she there's the book at some point, which I guess was the daughter's like journal. And
after the first Conjuring or whatever, whether it was bringing the daughter back or some other weird thing,
I need to watch this again. I feel like I don't remember most of it.
Well,
it sucks. It's like,
so
wait.
Then this little journal that Charlie, the daughter, would frequently draw in keeps opening up, and things keep being drawn into it. And so eventually the mom decides to throw that in the fire. But when she does, she starts to catch on fire. And then when she puts it out, she stops going on fire. Mm-hmm. So then she tells the dad, who's kind of like,
I do remember this. Yeah.
I don't want any part of this. I'm Irish.
Yeah. I got time for this ghost and shit. Yeah. Then she throws the book in the fire again. And he just goes up in flames. Yeah.
Which at least it doesn't really make sense in the plot, but it kept me on my toes.
I was like, that wasn't what happened last time.
Right.
And that's,
I mean, if there's one thing the movie does incredibly well the whole time is I never was ahead of it.
No.
And because of that, I gave it a lot more credit that it wasn't going to just turn into the dumb like horror movie that all they're like, oh, it's a cult who's summoning some weird, demon or whatever. But then it does turn into that.
Yeah. But like, okay, so there's mom.
Then mom seems to get possessed or something because she's screaming as he's on fire, and then her face drastically changes really quickly.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what to make of that. I don't know what exactly was actually happening, but then she's chasing after Peter, and then she's like floating and you know,
Yeah,
get the
that's
string,
right,
she's cutting her own
yeah.
head off and
Oh
stuff.
man, I did love when she's hitting her head. Like you hear the knocking on the door and
That
it shows
was-
up and she's smacking her head on it, and it's not like her beating with her hand. That was great. That was a good one. Too.
Well, and she's upside down.
Yeah, like on the ceiling doing
Yeah,
it. It's like what?
That was one of the most powerful images
It's
in the movie.
very it's a very strange movie. I think it is worth seeing, I would say. Like it wasn't bad by any means. And if you are like into getting a little freaked out, go for it. But I don't think it's not.
I think it's extremely well directed.
Yes.
I don't know how well written it actually is.
No.
So
can we talk about the ending with
yeah,
the tree house?
the dumb info dump. Like, here's a paragraph about what you're watching instead of just having it be weird. Well, also, I don't really get what's going on. Like, are all those cult people actually there, or are they like weird spirits?
Oh, in the treehouse?
Yeah.
Those are all the dead people, I thought. I thought that was the lady who disappeared that died, and then grandma, because grandma busts out of her grave early in the movie.
I don't think she busts out. I thought it was the friend Joni and maybe actually some of those people from the funeral, because at the beginning she's like, oh, I didn't know my grandma knew all these people, and it's a lot more people than I thought. And so it's a bunch of old people. So I thought we're supposed to interpret that those are some of the people who were there at the end.
Okay.
But I don't really know.
I thought all the people at the end were dead. I thought they didn't have heads.
All the women in his family didn't have heads.
Okay.
But I don't know. There were certainly some people who had heads.
Because none of them moved. They were all very, very still.
Which is why I'm not exactly clear on what that means.
I mean, and grandma starts showing up like after she busts out of the grave too. That's when the daughter starts seeing her again, is when she busts out of the grave. So I don't know if that's from them like summoning and whatnot or what, but yeah, it's a very strange movie.
It's not a cohesive story really,
but there's all that random stuff about the god of whatever mischief and whatnot. You know, it's you,
which was dumb.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that's what he is. He's the actual demon child.
But he's just gonna get arrested.
Yeah,
he's just gonna go to jail, and then they're gonna have to go visit him in jail. And they're like in the
which I still don't really get why he ran into the tree. In
15 to 20 years, when he gets out of jail, we'll get all the secret knowledge
25 to
from
life,
the afterlife.
Yeah.
With depending on his good behavior.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I saw. The ending, it tries to do Rosemary's Baby, where you're not
seen it. Sorry.
I won't spoil exactly what happens to Rosemary's Baby, but basically the whole time you're not sure what exactly is happening, and it toes that line as far as it possibly can, where you're like, things seem legitimately crazy and possibly supernatural, but I'm not sure if I'm just seeing an unreliable perspective of what's going on, which I thought the mom talking about all the mental illness in her family might have been suggesting that there's some ambiguity there. And maybe even it's just Peter trying to adjust to what he's seeing, if not just the mom. But then I think the end, since we get the narration from Joan or Joni or whatever her name was, the friend who did the seance stuff.
Yeah.
I believe that it's actually happening, and that makes it dumber, because then she just is like, here's who he is. Here's the spirit that's inside of him now. And that's it. Then it ends.
Yeah. I need to watch it again, I think. I might go on
I don't know if I'd want to sit through that movie again.
Yeah. Leah asked if she could handle it. I said probably.
It's the scene with Charlie's head getting hit off.
That's such a good scene, though.
It's incredibly well done, but I think I'm too weak for stuff like that now. Like, I appreciate, I mean, the amount of filmmaking that went into that to make it not cheesy was a lot. That was impressive.
Yes.
And I respect that, but that is very distressing and upsetting. And I was upset about it for like days after.
Really? That was the part that got you?
Well, it's that, and then his immediate reaction, and then the mom screaming, and like that whole like 10 minutes in there.
Well, because I remember like the day after you saw it, you texted me, you're like, yeah, I'm still a little disturbed by the movie, so I guess it's done its job.
Yes.
And then like after I saw it, I'm like, what freaked Tom out enough that he thought about this like a day later?
It was the family tragedy, not really the supernatural horror.
Not the actual horror, just the sadness of the whole thing. But no, like as I was leaving the theater, I heard equal amounts, well, that was fucking dumb. And then this other guy was like, holy shit, that was so cool. And I'm like, okay.
I'm somewhere between the two,
right?
I think.
And I was like, it's all right.
I mean, it depends on what exactly you're looking for in a horror movie.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I like I feel like if you get too focused on just doing a horror movie, you just fall into the same basic tropes. And it's nice that it was a little bit of like that whole, is it not, is it going to be weirder than you think or more normal than you think? I wish that's kind of a fun thing to have.
I think as it got more into just being kind of a remix of The Exorcist, Rosemary's Baby, and The Shining, it kind of lost me, because I was seeing that the director at some point was kind of like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if this happens, as opposed to it all actually seeming like it made sense in the story.
Yeah.
And I would have liked an ending that wasn't just like Yeah, the bad guys won.
I like it. I thought it was funny how like grandma apparently just makes like floor mats for people. She's like,
Yeah.
I recognize that floor mat.
That was not a great way
And I'm
to
like,
connect those two characters.
I was like, so that's why they knew each other. She made her floor mat.
Yeah, I mean that as a reveal is kind of dumb.
Yeah, maybe that's supposed to be something that we just missed though. Maybe there's an actual thing to that, but I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of what a floor mat could be because there was a whole bunch of them too. Remember, there's a bunch of them for different names. So
Yeah,
I'm trying to think maybe on like maybe in their little cult compound thing, she made all the floor mats for everybody's house.
but that's silly
Isn't
already.
it?
It's like the most old lady twist.
Yeah, well, she was an old lady, Tom.
I know, but she was an old lady who really wants to summon some weird,
Yeah.
like hellish king,
Yeah,
which already, I don't know. Then it just loses me. I think this movie's at its most powerful when it is basically depicting potential mental illness or people
Grief
who
and
have
whatnot.
grief,
Yeah.
despair. Like the mom screaming at the kid at the dinner table was that
man.
bothered
Or
me more
when,
than
when she was sleepwalking.
all of that was
That was
great.
intense when she starts yelling at him in his bed.
Yeah,
And
that
she's
was
like splashing the oil on him and whatnot.
yeah. That whole
Oh,
thing was
man.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
That was at its best when it was not extremely explicit about what was going on.
Yeah, those were the best parts.
And I think it should have probably kept doing. Not that I don't like a horror movie can have a very literal plot, but sometimes the fact that when you don't have any specificity about what's going on, it is scarier. And like with something like this or like The Shining, where it's not really clear, I don't know what exactly actually happens in The Shining or not. I think this movie could have done with more of that instead of like actually like, yeah, here's the end.
Well,
Here's
The
what happened.
Shining did it so well that people are still talking about it too.
Yes.
It's the crazy part. You know what I mean? It's like people still debate
But
about
if-
what is actually going on in The Shining.
It's unfair of me to say, yeah, you should have been more like The Shining because
Those are some big shoes to fill.
right,
That's yeah.
especially for a guy's first movie.
That was his first one.
Yeah,
Wow, this is a well done first movie.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't make a movie that good my first time.
Oh,
I mean, if I had maybe like $10 million,
I'd imagine he'd worked around movies a lot though before that. Like, right? Like, no one just like shows up and is
Well-
like, "I'm gonna direct this movie." You know,
he made some shorts.
Okay.
I don't know exactly his story, but yeah, okay. So Hereditary, I don't know. I think it's a good movie, I guess, but
I give it
it's-
like a B minus. Like,
yeah,
not as scary as I expected, but not as it wasn't like boring by any means.
not
and
as
that
scary as I thought it'd be, but not as not scary as I thought it would be.
Not as happy as I thought it'd be either. I don't even know what, like the opposite of scary would be, besides just not scary. I tell you what, I was at work and I'm trying to ask how to say slow in Spanish. I'm like, "Como se dice no rapido?" And they're like, "No rapido." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I mean, surely there must be like a Spanish word for specifically slow."
I think I knew it at some point. Did you learn it?
Right?
Did they ever
No,
tell you?
they
Oh.
just told me to say no rapido, as in not fast. How do you say slow? Not fast. It's like, thanks, guys. That's great. That helped a lot.
All right, we're gonna go to another song. This is another one from Common Grant. Oh man, that's loud.
Technical difficulties. Vegetable lasagna is back.
All right, we'll be right back.
VL lives.
Maybe I just didn't try hard enough. Yeah, I gave up. Maybe I didn't give you the time. Someone else caught your eye. Thought I had you locked away, safe for another day, but that was my first mistake. Knock, knock, are you in there? Yeah, is anybody home? Are you still mad? Can I come in? Are you decent and alone? See, I'm standing in the rain to show you that a man can change. Or maybe it's just too late. Cause you know that I don't care what you think you're gonna wear. Cause it's not you, it's me, my dear. I don't care what you like, I never kept an open mind. Cause it's not you, it's me. It's not you, it's me. Actually, no, and now that I think about it, it's unfair to try to blame it all on me. You were like a concentrated evil, and then the walls sucked the life out of everything. And you know, as the story goes, when a parasite severed from its host, the host is finally free, and the parasite dies as a metaphor for you and me. I hope you die, cause you know that I don't care what you think you're gonna wear. Cause it's not me, it's you, my dear. The conversation, could you hold heart so cold, and it's not me, it's you. No, it's not me, it's you. And if you like to say a word to the crowd, yes, if you have a side to tell, do it now, cause the people are leaving, they're all going home. You're up on the stage and you're all alone. They were drawn to the sound of the crash and the bangs of the drums and guitars. The good guy sang, it's not you, it's me. Wait, that's wrong. It's not me, it's you. Everybody now, it's not me, it's you. One more time. It's not me.
Sing along. It's Not You, It's Me by The Real Zebos. Check them out, local band. Cool
I like
stuff.
him. Yeah.
He's good.
He is very good. Yeah.
He's got like a sensibility that doesn't seem like indie rock. Like
Well,
he actually sounds like a real band.
I feel like he has that like early 2000s indie rock that everyone kind of forgot about.
That's,
Like,
I guess
like early 2000s. Like,
he's got like mainstream indie rock sound, not like actual garage indie rock
yeah.
in a good way.
Yeah. Like it actually sounds like, he knows what he's making.
Yes.
And yeah.
So you want to talk about the International House of
B. Apparently.
Beans.
No, so did you see they apparently changed their name
burgers.
temporarily? Yeah, burgers.
Oh, temporarily?
Yeah, it's just a temporary thing. It's just a marketing stunt.
To try to get people to order burgers.
To get people to talk about it, because it's like, IHOB, but yeah. And it worked,
But
but everyone's making
it's
fun of IHOB.
dumb.
It's so dumb. Well, and I thought it was like an actual name change, but I also thought the B did not stand for burgers. So I was like, oh, the International House of Breakfast.
That's what I thought. when I
Like,
saw
that makes
too. Yeah.
sense. I'm like, sure, whatever. You sell more than pancakes. Someone goes to IHOP anyways.
Well, they're not going to be good burgers. Like
No,
they'll be
they're
fine.
not.
I mean, they'll be like, your
No. Well, and like
your normal cheap type burger.
Well,
but-
it's weird because like it seems like every restaurant that exists on like Facebook and Twitter is like tearing into them, like for it. It's
I
really
saw,
weird.
I think Wendy's had a
Yeah,
mean
I
tweet.
saw theirs. I think my
Uh,
favorite was Burger King changed their Facebook profile to picture to Pancake King, and like
I guess that's funny.
and then like but it's weird and it feels like forced. It seems a little too convenient that like every single big chain restaurant in the world would be like, haha, let's make fun of IHOB. Also, did you see they have burgers now?
Oh, you think it's like a
I think
coordinated?
I think it's all coordinated, but I mean, it's but I mean, it's publicity for both of them, so it makes sense for them to acknowledge each other on social media because then again,
Right.
then both of them get like shared everywhere, and it's like, But now, I don't know. It's not that exciting. I just thought it was kind of funny.
I thought you might have a joke or something about it.
Well, and I thought that I was like, I thought I was in the right with the name being breakfast, but no, apparently it's burgers.
I was on the same wavelength as you
Yeah.
as far as that goes.
But
So-
who's gonna pay like $10 for pancakes? That seems ridiculous to me, and probably more than that for a shitty burger.
People who are up at 4 a.m.
Yeah. Are there no other 24-hour places anymore? I thought there were. I miss the idea of a 24-hour diner.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really any in Omaha
No.
anyway. Not that I've gone to IHOP, but not.
I mean, it
in
happens
years.
every once in a while. Where you're up at like 3 a.m. You're like, man, I really want some pancakes.
IHOP happens.
Then you go get IHOP and get a burger. Apparently, that's what they
IHOB.
want you to do. IHOBO.
Well, it's that time again.
It is the time.
'Tis the season to give you a movie that you haven't seen and have you
Yep.
come up with a plot for it. So I'll
Let's
give you
do
two
it.
options.
Oh, okay.
In honor of Hereditary, there were a few movies that I know the director had said were influences. In the last couple of days, I've
Ooh.
kind of been going back and reading some interviews.
Okay.
You know too much about a variety of them. You've only seen 20 minutes of Rosemary's Baby and apparently don't
Yes.
know the huge twist that is the end of that movie is in every single plot description about it. And it really
What?
irritates me.
I don't
because
read plot descriptions though.
that you've avoided the
I
major
have.
spoilers.
That's good. Is
or
her baby the devil?
okay, never mind. We're not doing Rosemary's Baby.
Well, that's an obvious one. 'Cause
yeah,
that's
okay.
what I feel like.
All right.
Okay, yeah, but,
All
I feel
right,
like-
all right, yeah.
but that's actually the twist. It turns out to be the devil.
It's
Or
the
is it
devil's
it's
baby.
ambiguous.
It's the devil's
yeah,
son.
Okay,
Adrian, I think.
Adrian.
He has his father's eyes.
Yeah, like before he's even born, right? Don't they say
Nope.
that? No, I thought that's what the old lady says when she like flies down the staircase.
Oh, does she? Oh, I
at the
think at
beach.
the end they have it too. But
Oh,
you see
okay.
like the weird baby
Eyes.
eyes at the end.
Just eyes.
Well, because they convinced Rosemary that the baby died, I believe, and then she goes into the secret room, and there's everybody from the movie there, all excited that the devil's son has been born.
Yay!
And But
I mean, at least someone's happy for it.
that one pulls off the big info dump at the very end in a way that Hereditary does not. Almost no movie needs a bunch of exposition in its final scene. Rosemary's Baby is enough of a crazy movie that it works.
I see what you mean, though, by in the description, though. I figured there'd be more to it than that.
Well, no, because the whole thing, it's a brilliant paranoia story where she's convincing herself that she's just got some kind of, like anxiety from being pregnant. And it's just that fear of like the protection of the baby is causing her to see all these conspiracies around her.
Okay.
And so it's about 2 hours of everyone around her kind of being like, no, like you're just making all this stuff up. You're just seeing things where you want to see things. And so she kind of accepts that.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you get this absolutely
They're
crazy
like,
ending.
just kidding.
So, yeah.
And you were there. And you were there. And you were there.
Then everybody was in on it.
Yeah.
Well, that movie's just kind of like silly enough too. It doesn't take itself so seriously. But okay. Anyway.
Yeah. Keep going.
Another one that he cited as an example of one that inspired him to make the movie was one called Don't Look Now, which stars Donald Sutherland and what's her name?
I don't know this. I've never even heard of this movie.
Tell
me more. You can't tell me more. I don't even know who Donald Sutherland is.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. Don't tell me who I.
Julie Christie's the girl.
Who?
Donald Sutherland. Did you see those new Hunger Games? He's the old guy.
No, I don't watch. Oh, come on, Tom. I have better taste than that.
Trying to think what you would know him from. He's in the MASH. The movie MASH is my favorite performance from him.
I haven't watched that either.
Okay, I'll pull up his IMDb. I'll do a Mark Maron interview for you.
Yeah,
here.
Look at your list, man.
Yeah, so Donald Sutherland, you were in.
When did that come out? 88. As he's looking at the number.
Yeah,
I think it was 88. I think my favorite was when like Kim Deal was on there and she kept like being like, I think it was like 87. That was our first album. He's like, oh, when did you record the next one? 85, I think. And it's like her kind of timeline is just absolutely messed up. And he's like,
Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the 70s one. Did you ever see that?
Oh, is he the guy with the crazy hair?
Yeah, does that look?
I haven't watched the movie, but I've seen that picture.
I figured you might be aware of that.
That's funny.
He's a good actor.
Okay. But he's in the Hunger Games for some reason.
Yeah, he's like the evil old guy who they have to overthrow. I didn't see any of the movies.
You haven't seen these, but I saw the first everyone who's in it.
Yeah, I'm aware of what's going on. They keep me in the loop, Chris.
They don't tell me anything that's happening. I just show up.
Okay, so Don't Look Now. Donald Sutherland was he like an architect or something? I can't remember. I haven't seen this movie in a while. So
you don't even know, and you're gonna expect me to make something up for it?
Well, what I remember is okay, I'll give you some basic parameters here. So Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie are in Venice.
Ooh.
Their daughter has died right before they went to Venice.
Yes.
And along the way, weird things happen. Come up with a plot.
What kind of weird things would happen? Okay, so you're in Venice. It's so you're rolling through Italy with your wife, and you're did they bring the dead daughter with them?
No.
How long ago did she die?
Recently.
Like, so they just
like within the last year.
Probably. Oh, okay. I was gonna say daughter dies, but they're like, well, we got these reservations, we got these plane tickets, so we still got to go to Italy.
No, this was a little less urgent than that. It was like they're not over it, but they're trying to move on.
Yes, literally by
moving on to Venice
to better countries.
Yes,
better locations. So they're in Italy and they're probably seeing like little glimpses of their daughter everywhere. I'm assuming they're like, oh wait,
yes,
is it her? But it's not, because you're in Italy and your daughter's dead. And then, but is she actually dead? I'm guessing is the question. I don't know. I don't know where to go with this.
Trombone is probably not the instrument for this. No. I would have like some crazy music.
Sad trombone.
Can you make a trombone eerie?
It'd be kind of funny if you could find a way. You could do the noise from Hereditary. Yeah. The sound of her head popping off.
Yikes. Yeah. Okay,
but yeah.
Don't Think Now. Donald Sutherland, Julie Christie.
Don't think
twice.
Don't Think Now, starring Donald Trump.
No, I meant the Mike Birbiglia comedy movie. Don't Think Twice. No, Don't Look Now.
Or his daughter dies and he goes
to Venice. Mike Birbiglia's daughter dies and he goes to Venice with his wife. That sounds just like a much sadder movie.
Right. Well, he's already kind of a sad guy.
Yeah. Okay. So Donald Sutherland, Julie Christie have literally moved on to Venice. They're seeing glimpses of their daughter.
Yes, like
or something like her.
Like in the canals. Venice is the canals. Oh no, they're in the gondola and they see her daughter in the water, kind of a thing.
Not in the water, I don't think, but there's a lot of alleys.
Yeah,
and
like
things.
Side traffic and whatnot. Right. That's kind of creepy. That's fun. Is this a good horror movie? Should I watch this one?
It's great in terms of like the atmosphere.
I like that. I like atmosphere.
It's well done.
Okay.
And so the daughter died in a red cloak thing. And so that's what he
that's
sees
nice
everywhere.
And creepy. Yeah, of course.
So there's this like little
Don't
person
look
in a red
now,
cloak.
but she's
running
right
around.
over
Yeah.
there, but it's not
Yeah,
her.
it's
I
creepy.
guess, every time he goes, it's probably not her. Or does he like find? I don't know. I don't know where this could go. Horror movies are hard to guess a trajectory.
It is.
for.
It's not that funny, actually.
No.
Now that we do that.
Especially
I
when
don't
it's
know
like,
liking this one. Yeah.
Okay. It was better when it was like a weird, like, I don't even know what terms of endearment it is, genre wise. Like, is this supposed to be a comedy? Is this a sad
It's a
movie?
space movie.
Yeah.
It's a space exploration.
God damn it, Kumar. That's Astrojack.
I lose my touch.
Yeah.
Lose my touch. Okay, so that was kind of a bust. Your turn.
That was. I don't have one for you. I thought you were just gonna do it to me.
No, we do it to each other.
Yeah, but you're too good at it. You already know movies. You
know movies.
You're kept in the loop, Tom. You
They
know,
keep me in
you
the
know,
loop.
You know, like the synopsis before the movie comes out.
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Like, I would say 75% of the time, which is probably why you're bored of 75% of the movies you watch, because you already know what they're about when you go into them.
Well, Hereditary, I was surprised. I thought I knew what
Yeah.
it was about, and it wasn't what I thought it was about.
I thought the daughter was going to live much longer than she did.
Yes,
I
I thought it was going to be
gonna
about
be
her being possessed and causing weird things.
Yes, but no, which I feel like that was a good marketing gimmick.
It was a great
They
marketing.
did
gimmick.
very good with that one.
I was actually taken aback.
Me
by the
too.
fact that
I was
that
like,
happened.
well, crap, she's dead.
Yeah, I'm thinking like,
I'm like,
how is she gonna?
I know.
How are they
Like,
gonna fix her?
I'm like, well, now where does it go?
But then I thought it was gonna be about like her body comes back.
Yeah, you expect her to bust out of the floor too, which I guess
Yeah.
they never mentioned that. So maybe it wasn't her in that. I don't know.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah,
pick
okay.
something then that I have not
pick a
seen.
movie that you have seen.
I have not seen.
That you've not seen. I have seen is the hard part. Especially we watch too many movies.
We do.
Yes. Do I have to do this?
Well,
Can I pass?
I mean, do you have anything good to do instead?
I don't know.
Well, if you have something good, then yeah, we can do that instead. But if you don't, then I'd like you to just go ahead with it.
I can't even like think of a movie though off the top of my head. Then like what's a movie Tom hasn't seen? This is just small like
Pull up a list of
like
like
a sliver. Remember last time I tried to do that and it brings up like movies that you've always seen and recommended to me, but I haven't seen.
I don't think you shared with me what you were seeing in the list.
It was all stuff you've seen. It's all stuff.
It's like
I was like, Tom's mentioned this name before, and this name, and that one, and this one. And I know he talked about that one at one point. I just don't even know.
what are the last movies you've seen in theaters?
Hereditary?
Yeah.
Before that, the superhero one.
Yeah, I could
Which-
probably guess.
Exactly where that goes.
Well, we already talked about
we already talked about
that one. So about Thanos.
Before that, I don't know what else I've seen before that. I don't really go to the movie theater as much as you do.
That's another problem. But
yeah.
you might see things that I don't see, especially or like TV shows. Maybe
Ooh.
we could do that.
I did watch The Vault. I
Oh,
watched most of The Vault.
Something about
See,
James Franco.
you already know.
And,
It's a stupid Netflix movie. You're like, oh yeah, it's one with David Franco in The Vault.
James Franco. David Franco.
James Vid Franco.
All I know about that something about like a bank robbery and James Franco.
That's
or something.
Yeah, that's like the whole movie.
Well,
But-
I got that from
No.
just scrolling through Netflix. I,
I
didn't
know.
watch it.
I know, but see, you can already guess what it's about.
Yeah, so you have to pick one that I haven't like heard of. Even would be
That's
ideal.
so hard.
That is hard. Probably.
You see what I mean?
just-
This is not easy. This is not an easy game. It's easy for you because I don't watch movies as much as you do. But I mean, it's just
I don't watch movies that much anymore.
No. What do you
Yeah.
watch now? TV?
No,
No, you just don't. You read now.
or I
Moved on
work,
to books.
or I just like work on things.
Oh, yeah. That's depressing.
Okay, how about this? I'm gonna look at the.
Yeah, find me a movie you haven't seen. Do my job for me, Tom.
I'm gonna look at the release schedule for the rest of the year.
Oh man.
We're gonna find one that neither of us knows what it is.
Oh yeah, we could have like a reverse Deadpool kind of thing, like where instead of like trying to guess who dies this year, we try to guess what the movie's about.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Something
Yeah,
like
we'll
that.
figure something out.
Let's go to December because we probably
Oh, I found someone else to be on the show. He like actually I actively wanted to be on the show.
is he a cool person?
He's pretty damn cool. He makes really good drinks. And he mentioned bringing his cocktail mixing supplies and being on the show at
Oh,
some point.
boy.
I know, right? He was the bartender at Secret Ostrich.
But is he funny?
He's pretty funny, yeah.
How funny?
We'll find out, Tom.
Yeah,
Man,
well.
he's not even on the show.
Okay.
He asked like, "Oh, when does the show air?" I'm like, "Well, it's not always live, but I guess now it is." I didn't realize today was gonna be a live show too.
Today is live. Not that
We are a live.
not that we've got anybody listening at all, but I also didn't say anything about it being live. It was kind of like
well,
let's
you
do it.
like didn't tell me, so I couldn't even post anything on my thing. And then
I just did I wanted to test it out is all.
No, so this is kind of like a trial run.
Yeah. I want to see like what major problems. And surprisingly, other than you unplugging the soundboard,
Yes.
we haven't actually had any technical issues at all.
And you blasting the real Zebos
Okay, yeah, but
super duper loud.
Those aren't that bad though.
It was so loud.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. I'm aware that happened. Okay.
Is anything good coming out in the next 12 months?
So, well, probably like I don't even know if it's funny because I don't know what happens in any of these.
That's the point.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to know what happens in the movie, Tom.
But one of us should know so we can think it's funny or not and laugh about the other one, right?
You're so dumb.
Yeah, see, I don't know if it's gonna be that funny.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like, I mean, like if I just pick like a random name that I don't know what it is, like Skyscraper's coming out.
Skyscraper. I know what this one is.
Oh, okay.
It's like Die Hard, but like that's like it.
Yeah, see, most movies aren't interesting.
Yeah,
it's
literally like let's remake Die Hard, but with The Rock, I think, or is it? Yeah, I think it's The Rock.
You can see Jurassic World 2.
No, I think I've officially decided not to give them any more money. I feel like Jeff Goldblum sold out, man.
He's only in this one for like 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
And it's all in the trailer.
And he's in all these commercials for it too.
Well, it's the right idea to bring him back. But
yeah,
he needs to just be the star.
He's probably gonna get chomped in like 10 seconds.
I don't know. It looks like he's in like
it's a Jurassic World now. Then all of a sudden
life finds a way.
Yeah.
Can you do a Jeff Goldblum?
No, I can't.
Can you try for me?
Can
you just
try?
Do the laugh? Yeah, that's pretty good. It looks like I thought the dumbest thing in the world in Jurassic World. The dumbest thing in the Jurassic World was that they're like, yeah, we gotta use velociraptors to fight terrorists.
I know, yeah, right.
Because you send velociraptors into that cave, and somehow they're better than
nobody's coming out of that cave.
Our armies,
yeah, because the velociraptor's not just gonna like run the other way and go eat something else
or get shot.
Yeah, or just get shot. Yeah,
yeah, it was just dumb. Okay, well, so the whole end of the show is just a huge flop here. And I feel bad about it.
We're fine.
Make me laugh so
we
I
can be entertaining without the games, Tom.
Okay, do it then.
Also, I noticed you have tape on your laptop.
Yeah, so there's no video this week.
Yeah. Oh, it's for that. I don't know. I thought maybe you finally got paranoid about the whole people watching you through your webcam thing.
Well, it's literally because I'm broadcasting on YouTube. Yes,
you just have it like covering it up.
It's funny. It looks like TV,
just like a blue like thing.
Yeah, it's like funny. Little flashes of blue and black. I actually kind of like it. It looks like I thought it fit with the whole idea that we're pretending we're on a public radio station.
Okay, yeah.
So here's just like
public radio.
This is what public radio looks like on TV. So okay, make me laugh. Do something funny.
Do something funny. What do you?
What? No, I do that every week.
No, you don't. Don't even lie. Oh, no, you don't do the funny thing. That's right. Okay, sorry. I do the funny thing.
Yeah. All right. So do something funny.
Yeah. Oh, you can't play the music on me.
Do something funny.
That's like doubled the pressure. Now there's like a timer going.
Yep. If I need to replay it, I will.
Just put it on an infinite loop. This is how you're the AI tormenting people. Make me laugh. Make me laugh, Tom.
Yeah, what if that's the punishment that the basilisk is like?
Tell me a joke.
Be funny. Yeah, no. Like I don't know any other jokes.
Yeah, how do you make a robot laugh?
Can it even laugh?
Can it? I don't know.
Would you program it to be able to laugh?
Not if it's malevolent.
I'll figure it out after I get
it. Right. You don't know.
Jokes that jokes that robots like. The types of humor.
I don't like that look you're giving me.
I'm enjoying the tension with the jazz.
It hurts so much. And now I can hear the jazz. Has the jazz always been there for the outro? And I just never knew.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so rough. It hurts so much. I don't like it. I'm feeling like personally attacked. The soothing sounds of jazz are not soothing me right now, Tom. I don't know. It fits pretty well with the song.
So I'm trying to add some trombone.
Because this whoever this is, it was not complete without a little trombone.
Yeah, I need some trumpet, I guess. You want to do some trumpet?
I can't do a trumpet. Yeah, it's like do an impression. Do a trumpet impression. we're just gonna beatbox our way out of the show.
But jazz.
I can't do it. No, I don't know what you want from me.
Who's the Irish musician?
Cecil Flanagan.
Cecil Flanagan. This is basically what Cecil
That's
Flanagan.
a good name, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed making you come up with that on the spot.
That was, yeah. It worked much better that way than me trying to just casually come up with a name.
Mm-hmm.
But no, okay. So the guy who wanted to be on the show was a bartender at the fancy little bar downtown, right?
Mhm.
Or kind of downtown.
Midtown.
But yeah, Midtown. No, kind of, yeah. Almost Midtown, I guess.
Isn't it?
It's like north.
It's in
like,
Blackstone, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in Blackstone. So it's a little west of Midtown.
It's like Midtown-ish.
Yeah, Midtown.
Sure. Okay.
But yeah, no, he's talking about, like, yeah, man, I'll bring all like the cocktail making stuff. We can make cocktails. We can talk about mixology. I can mix some stuff up. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's do it. And also that'd be kind of funny if like we just had like a bartender like like not even like on the show, but like just on the side. Like, like we just had someone
We
here.
just bring a bar in.
Like, yeah, mixing like with
make that table.
Like, yeah, we're in the middle of the show. He opens up the door, pushes in his little cart, asks what we want. Yeah, she's just shaking cocktails on the side. You go, sir. You know, that's like while we're doing our show. It'd be super fancy. But
And we tip him and he leaves.
Or he can just hang out and make cocktails.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
The whole time. But regardless of that, no, he sounds like he'd be an interesting person to interview.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, because he's in the whole art of mixing fancy drinks and whatnot.
Mixologist.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay, make me laugh though. You got about a minute. Or forever.
Or as long as jazz exists, you will be waiting. It's almost like what's the
It's almost like what? Sorry, I was doing a little trumpet solo.
I was thinking like Jeopardy or whatever. The
And Watson, I understand you grew up on an external hard drive. How was that? When did you get transferred?
That was his stepfather.
No, it's Alex Trebek on Jeopardy.
Did you say that?
No. But, you know, he had to go around and talk to them all.
That's gotta be awkward. Talk to a computer.
Watson,
Siri. Like,
Watson, I
hello,
understand you
Alexa.
and Siri have a little bit of a history.
Oh. Well, Tom, I don't have anything funny for you. I see you. I saw the screen light up. That meant you're going to keep the loop alive.
You got 30 seconds or forever.
Just loop it. Let it happen.
No, just make me laugh right now.
I cannot make you laugh. You
Yeah,
know
you
this.
can.
No, I can't.
You can. You have.
I don't have it in me.
You do it a lot.
I don't.
You do?
Not under pressure. I do it like just when I say things, but not when you're like, say something funny.
Okay, here's your chance. If you do it right now, then I can end the show.
I can't do it right now. Oh, here it goes. It's back.
Right.
Oh, man.
I had to cover that. I had to go back. So I put a little trumpet in
that
there.
was smooth, though. It worked. Like through
Smooth
these
jazz.
Yeah. Smooth transitional jazz.
Welcome back to Smooth Jazz.
Smooth.
I'm Leonard, and Leo's here as well.
Leonard and Leo.
Leonard and Leo's Smooth Jazz.
L&L's Jazz Hour.
The Jazz Hour with Leo and Leo.
Leo.
I'm Leo, and I'm Leo.
Hi, I'm Leo. Me too.
There's a chuckle. He had a chuckle out of me, but
Yeah,
it made me laugh. I want a belly laugh.
Why can't you make me laugh for once, Tom?
I do all the time.
Why is it always about you?
Might as well, because I,
You should tell a joke. You must have a joke in there somewhere. I can see it. You got a joke.
Well, even when I did stand up, it wasn't really jokes. It was situation.
Do an impression.
Okay. I haven't done any impressions this week, have I?
No, I don't think you have. I mean, you did a little trumpet.
I did an impression of a trumpet and a trombone.
That counts. But that's what you should do during stand-up. Like, this is my, because they always do that random little like in the open mic. So like, this is my impression of a Canadian New Yorker.
This is my impression of a trombone.
Have you seen the shitty flute videos on?
No.
You should look. They're funny like for the first one you watch, and that's you only need to like pick one and watch one, and then you'll get it. But
Yeah.
like, it's just this whole YouTube channel of shitty flute, and it's pretty entertaining.
Who do you want me to do an impression of?
Ooh.
The thing is, I like to do impressions on the show. I never like plan them ahead of time though.
no.
So
You do-
they're never that good.
See, that's the thing. Is like they're always situational.
Yeah.
So you get it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So give me one. It's not situational if you're just forcing it, but we can try.
Give me a good Henry Winkler.
Oh, so he's got kind of like not a lot of, I don't know. It's kind of like he speaks softly, right? So it's like,
You can.
you didn't see it, I just winked.
That's pretty good.
Because he doesn't. There's not a lot of like definition in the way that he speaks. I think he's
So
maybe.
there's a little Ira in there. I like it.
Well, but I think he. I don't know if he's from New York or not. I don't know if he's got.
I don't
any
know
of
what
that in
he
there.
is. Yeah, he's a
There's not. He's not like a. His voice is not that easily identifiable,
no.
which makes
I
it
don't know.
hard to do an
I think
impression
it
of him.
is, but it's not. It's not easy to identify what makes it so
It's
weird.
never the ones you want it to be.
That was pretty good. That was a good one.
I think that's all I got for him.
Yeah.
Though. That wasn't
Okay,
funny though.
sorry.
Come up with a
I-
funnier one I can do.
Jeez, I thought that would be funny.
Yeah.
I don't have anything. This is rough. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm letting us down here.
You're not just letting me down. You're letting down
Abe.
0 listeners.
Oh, they left a long time ago, Tom. No one knew.
Abe left one comment and then left.
Oh no, Abe.
And now
He's probably posted a whole bunch on your Facebook.
that could be. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he likes to post. I love how Abe posts like a live stream of his chats, like
I like it too. It's
like
fun.
just an endless
Yeah.
stream of comments, as if I'm supposed to know like what he's talking about. But I mean, you can kind of guess based on like.
For the most part, I
Like,
remember
they're like-
well enough to. But I listen to these once just to go through, make sure there are no technical
Yeah.
issues and things.
See, I listen to it once when I'm on it.
Yeah.
And that's really about it.
Well, you're experiencing it. It's
Yeah.
immersive
It's
podcasting.
different. Yeah. Did you steal that Film Streams coaster?
No, they're giving them out for free.
Shit. I wanted to steal one.
Okay, we're at the end of the song again.
Damn
Give
it,
me
Tom.
an
I don't
impression
have-
of
I don't
Dylan,
have
something funny.
anything.
Just come
I
on,
don't-
do something.
I
Just
can't. I don't
funny.
do funny.
do funny.
I don't do funny.
Doing funny with Chris Fago.
Doing funny.
But that didn't count.
No, it doesn't. But, I don't think it's gonna happen today, Tom. Sorry. I just can't today.
You can.
I can't.
We'll get there.
There's nothing I can do that can make up for those last like 2 minutes. That was the problem.
Last like half hour.
Yeah, I know. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm sorry.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Do your Matt Damon crying impression. It's not your fault.
I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault.
I'm so sorry.
It's
It's not your fault.
When he breaks down.
It's not your fault.
You're doing Robin Williams. Do Matt Damon.
Oh, I don't. What's the difference? No,
He goes like,
it's
not your fault. No,
It's
I'm
not your
saying,
fault.
no, you're missing it up. Have you seen
No.
that movie?
Which one?
Goodwill Hunting.
No,
I say it's not your fault like 35 billion times.
I've never seen it.
And then Matt Damon,
I thought this was Interstellar when he's crying over Matthew McConaughey or whatever.
I can't listen. I can't watch this. Let me tell you this poem. No, so, okay, we're going to do it. So it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not. Then you burst into tears.
No.